Hey there, I'm Christina Johnson, transformational nutrition coach, and I have a private health coaching practice, Christina Johnson Wellness. And today in this video, I want to share with you 5 tips that will improve your digestion dramatically. So if you are someone who struggles with digestive issues like heartburn and gas and bloating and stomach pains and diarrhea and so on, then this video in particular will be really helpful for you. I have worked with so many clients over the last few years who struggle with these types of digestive issues. They're really common. But the good news is that I have seen them improve dramatically time after time after time. I'm offering a group detox program right now. I'm taking several people through that. And one of the most common changes that people are noticing in particular is that they're having less bloating. So it's exciting to see that it's possible to improve your digestion. And that's one of the biggest takeaways I hope you get from this video, is that if you've been struggling with digestive issues, it doesn't have to be inevitable that it will stay that way. It truly is possible to improve your digestion and to just feel better. So what I want to share with you today are these 5 tips to improve your digestion. Now, just as a little bit of a warning, the first 4 are all really simple, easy to implement tips. They don't take a lot of work or effort. So I'll share those 4 with you. But then the 5th one is a little bit more requiring time and effort, I will say. But I love this last strategy because it's one of the most effective ways I've found to help people improve their digestion. So make sure you stick around to the last tip in particular, because that's what'll really get to the root of the issue and help you find long-term success. So before we dive in, if you think this information will be valuable for other people, will you just hit the share button or tag someone in the comments that you think could benefit from learning about digestion? All right, so let's start with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is to chew your food thoroughly. So this is such a simple tip, but think about how you typically eat your food. Most of us, most Americans, will take a few bites, we'll chew quickly and swallow, we'll take another couple bites right away, chew a couple times and swallow, and so we're eating quick and we're not chewing very often. Plus, we're usually eating in front of the TV or a computer or in the car or on the go. And so we're just not really paying attention to our food and we're not chewing it well. And here's the problem with that. This is important. Digestion begins in your mouth. So think about it. We have saliva, we have teeth for a reason. The purpose is that we are meant to break down food into really, really small particles in our mouth so that when it reaches our stomach can finish the process of digestion. Our stomach is not meant to take these big pieces of food that haven't been chewed well. So if you just take the time to chew your food thoroughly, that can really improve some symptoms like gas and bloating in particular. So all you have to do is just take a bite of food and chew it, 20, 30 times until it's almost liquefied. Swallow and then take your next bite. So that's tip number 1, chew your food really well. Tip number 2 is another really simple one, but that is to practice deep breathing. So here's why this one is important. Oftentimes, again, most of us Americans, we're on the go. We're kind of in this frenzied, chaotic state half the time where you're trying to eat, but you're also serving a meal to your family, or you're trying to quick get food in before you have to rush out the door. Well, we're in this more stressed state, even if it's not super high level stress. But if you're in any kind of stress state, your body is meant to divert all its energy and resources towards dealing with that stress and not towards digestion. So if you're eating when you're kind of stressed, then your body is not equipped to digest that meal as well. So one of my favorite ways to get your body in a more calm, relaxed state and out of that fight or flight mode is to take 3 deep breaths. Again, it's so simple, but there's so much research that shows that just deep breathing alone triggers your parasympathetic nervous system. That is like the brake system. It tells everything in your body that it's safe and okay to calm down. So before you eat, especially if you're a Christian or a person of faith, if you take a moment, have some gratitude for the food you're about to eat, take a few deep breaths, that will prepare your body and get your body into rest and digest mode, which can, again, dramatically improve how well you're digesting food. So that's tip number 2, is to take a few deep breaths before eating. Tip number 3, okay, this is a surprising one, especially because I'm always saying drink more water, but I'm going to tell you the opposite right now. Drink less water while you're eating. So I have always been the person that would drink like glass after glass of water while I was eating, and I couldn't imagine doing it any different. But I had a chiropractor tell me, and a couple other functional medicine practitioners and nutrition experts, that what can happen when you drink too much water with your meal is that it can dilute your stomach acid and digestive enzymes, which means that that you're less likely to be able to digest your food well. So all you need to do is, what I would recommend is maybe stop drinking water or other liquids about 30 minutes before you eat your meal. And then while you're eating, maybe limit it to about 4 ounces, so about half a glass of water. And then once you're done eating, wait about 45 minutes to an hour to start drinking water again. That just will give your body a better chance to digest its food. Okay, tip number 4 is you could take a digestive enzyme. So I will say that this is not a great long-term permanent solution, but your stomach has different enzymes, like one to digest fats, one for carbs, one for protein. And if you are as we get older, sometimes we produce less of these enzymes, or we just have less for one reason or another. So sometimes taking a digestive enzyme that has all those different types of enzymes in them can help your body digest certain foods a little easier. So, I'll take one every now and then before a big meal. I don't always digest carbs well, so if I'm eating more carbs, then maybe I'll take one then. I don't think it's something that's necessary, like I said, to take long term, but as you're working on an overall plan to help your digestion, this can be a great way to bridge that gap. I will say, as I always do, not all supplements are created equal. So if you're going to take one, you want to take a good quality one that's not going to cause any more harm and that's actually going to be beneficial. So if you're curious about that, just send me a message and I can give you the names of a couple different supplements that I like for digestive enzymes. Okay, here is tip number 5. This is the big one. So this isn't quite as simple of a tip, but it will get to the root of the issue and it will give you dramatic long-term results. And that is to figure out what foods your body is sensitive to and avoid them. So if you're eating a food that your body doesn't tolerate well, it will cause all kinds of digestive issues. And I have a client right now that I'm working with who has had pretty significant IBS issues for years, as long as she can remember, and nothing would work to help it. So we've spent 5-6 weeks on removing some foods that could possibly be bothering her, and she just told me this week that her digestion has improved so much. So some of those common foods are gluten and dairy. Sugar sometimes can cause issues for people, but there can be other things. Corn can be bothersome for some people. For me, quinoa bothers my digestive system. So it takes a little bit of time and experimentation to figure out what might be a sensitivity for your body, but once you figure that out and remove those foods, I am telling you, your digestion will improve dramatically. So here's my offer to you. I know that this last step in particular is a big one, and some people do it on their own and other people want a little bit of help. So if you are struggling with digestive issues and you're ready to figure out a way to move past it and to figure out what's really going on for you, then I'd love to offer you a free consultation with myself where we would just get on the phone and talk for about 30 to 45 minutes, and we'll take a look at what exactly are you dealing with your digestion and how is it impacting other areas of your health. Because if your digestion isn't working well, that can impact how well you sleep, your energy levels throughout the day, your mood. It can affect, how easy it is to lose weight. So we'll take a look at all that and then figure out what might be causing some of this problem for you in particular. And then once we do that, if I feel like one of my coaching programs would just be a great fit to really help you take care of this issue, then I'll share that with you as well and just kind of explain what it could look like to work together and answer any questions that you have. Because like I said, I totally believe that these digestive issues don't have to just be something that you accept and deal with. You can do something about it, and it really doesn't have to take a great amount of time. It doesn't have to require like medicine or over-the-counter things. but it can be pretty simple changes that make a big difference. So if you are interested in talking with me and having this free consultation, you can go to ChristinaJohnsonWellness.com/apply. I will put that link above the video in the post once I'm done here. But go to that, you'll just answer a couple questions to let me know what's going on for you. It is called a lose weight discovery session. So when in the question about what's bothering you, just let me know that it's digestion in particular that you want to focus on so that I know what to prepare for. And then once you fill out a few questions, then you'll get a link to go to my calendar to schedule that session. I do have to say my schedule is pretty full the next couple